Hey, Hidden Gems. I am with Victoria. Do you guys remember Victoria?
Hello.
Victoria was an incredible interview that we had at Hidden True Crime. You were a juror just weeks ago. Just weeks ago, you
Number 12.
number 12, and you deliberated and came back with a guilty verdict for this same defendant we saw today in the murder for Charles Vallow. And you've been watching this trial every day, a very different trial than yours. Same defendant, same woman, different trial. You've learned a lot about her since your time as a juror.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So,
Very different now watching.
yeah. What are your, just overall, what are your thoughts? Was this such a different experience watching this weeks later?
It was. I always wondered when we were sent back to our room what was going on and what can be said in front of us. And now I get to witness all of that. And I'm thinking, holy cow.
To say the least. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. She's tried to recuse the judge 4 times, and then if you count Judge Green, it's 5. She came in sick twice. Were you shocked?
Very. And just like some of her comments, the love peace thing, I just wanted to throw up.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm a loving person.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Would you have wanted to throw up the first time around, or did you just didn't know enough?
I didn't know enough. I had no idea.
So do you think that when they heard that, they're just like, okay, well, let's hear the evidence. Let's find out if you are a loving person, or do you know what you would think? I know I was sort of asking you this off camera and what you said, but or is it just you can't put the cat back in the bag?
Yeah, I can't go there now because I have too much information.
Too much information. So in other words,
yeah.
You can't see it through the juror's eyes anymore.
No.
Do you watching? Well, you couldn't. You were actually watching from home the most of the
streaming.
Yeah, streaming. Do you feel like you knew the verdict that was going to come back, or were you nervous?
No, I was very nervous.
You were,
because it only takes one idiot.
Yeah, only one. And
you just never know.
You never do.
What's in the box of chocolate?
Right, and she's clearly manipulated people, Lori, her entire life, and she's as I say, she's an aging serial killer, but she's a pretty woman, and she has this sweet voice. I mean, when the jury's around, not when they're not around, her voice isn't so sweet. So you worry, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you were to see her on the street or out in the world, you would just think she's a normal mom.
Yeah.
If you didn't know any backstories or whatever.
Yeah. You were in there today for the verdict being read. What did you think of the makeup of this jury versus yours?
I like seeing all of the women.
There were so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the alternate jurors.
Girl power.
Yeah, were men, so even more women than men this time around, and they came back a lot faster, didn't they?
Yes, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I thought that was a good sign.
Would you want to talk to any of them if they reached out?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
And I definitely wanted to be here today, but I wasn't expecting. I've been nauseous the whole time, and my anxiety came back, and it kind of just put me right back in that spot.
Really? Yeah. How are you doing? You said that actually upstairs as you were coming out. You're like, I feel sick. Why do you think you're feeling sick?
Something just being around this building, in the building, and driving here, it makes me sick. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I saw that you hugged Kay. Can I ask what you told Kay Woodcock?
I hugged Kobe first, and he sent me the nicest text messages. And so I told him, thank you for the text messages, that I greatly appreciate it. And Kay, I just told her I've been dying to just squeeze her and give her a hug.
I'm so glad you were able to do that.
Yeah.
Today. And she's been incredible here supporting Brandon.
Yes.
A very different trial, very different evidence, but the same conspiracy.
And like many of us all, we're still waiting for the sentences because they're going to be together.
Right. that'll be interesting to bring all of those victims and the victim impact statements together.
Right.
It'll be, I think, actually a very powerful moment. You know, a lot of people keep talking about, it's now become sort of this moment everyone talks about when you and the other jurors came out weeks ago after the guilty verdict and were stopped by a lot of reporters, including me. When I saw that you and Tosh and Carl, I think those were the three that were stopped, not all together but separately, I went over too, and I wanted to know what you guys were all saying to the media, to me and to others. And can you explain how that happened and how you were stopped, and you know, some of those sound bites shared during that time, or even sent to Lori in prison? Or
Well,
yeah, jail.
I'm glad you brought it up because first of all, when we were let go, we were given the option to go out a back way, set up an interview with the media, or just go out together as a group. We all chose to go out together as a group.
Okay.
Like, this is my first experience. I didn't realize what it was going to be like. I'm like, we're fine. All of us were like, we were fine. But the court did a great job with how they treated us, giving us the options. And I know I've heard a lot of feedback saying that we weren't treated well. And I just wanted to make it clear that that's not the case.
Thank you for clearing that up. Just because the way a jury is handled in Arizona is different than Idaho, there's nothing about mistreatment. You guys were given your options, your freedom.
Right.
You were asked every day not to read anything. You guys didn't. But so they said you could go out a back way, and you thought, why would I do that? I can handle this.
Right.
Did you kind of want to see what was out there? You're like, well, what are you guys hiding? What are you saying?
Well, and the whole time we saw media here and there, like not in big groups, but you know, and that had my mind going, like, what is this really all about? Like, I thought for a while that Charles was like a famous baseball player. Maybe he's like, I was like, what is the deal?
That's interesting. So you're like, I don't even know if it's this case. I think
Right.
it's maybe it's the victim.
Involved.
Yeah, the victim is someone that's famous. He's a famous baseball player. Am I going to go out and see his baseball team, or whatever the case is? You didn't know. And the whole jury together decided we'll go out.
Yeah. Everybody was like, we're good.
And then they also said Google her. They also said Google her, though.
I can't speak for anyone else, but I'm still kind of in shock. Like, I'm still kind of in a weird state of mind because we're getting all of this information. So probably not a good judgment on my part, but it had nothing to do with the court.
So do you think
the court's been great?
Okay. Do you think
McDreamy, Judge McDreamy has been wonderful.
I know. I know. I saw him on the sidewalk the other day, and I was fangirling. I didn't even realize it. You know that moment when you like have a giant smile, and I didn't even know I did. And I was just like, hello, Judge. And I'm like, I have the biggest grin on my face right now.
I know. I would totally be like, hello, Mr. McDreamy.
Yeah. But I'm very proud of him, right? Like, I think he's actually held his cool and dealt with, you know, someone that repeats every other day trying to kick him off the bench and others. And
I was happy to see him put down boundaries, though.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were watching all of this.
That was good to see, you know. He is human. He does have limits.
Yeah, right. And we need limits. You're right. Right. It's such a balancing act, I think, for a judge to make sure that the defendant has rights and that they don't walk on those rights, but to also put those boundaries down and say, look, I'm the judge. I'm the authority in this courtroom, you know, and Judge Judy isn't around to do it. So, you know, it's like,
wouldn't that be an experience?
Yeah, right. Everyone's like, where's Judge Judy when you need her? I'm like, it's okay. We got Judge Boreski. And then, so you're still in shock. Did coming today help you sort of process more, or did it actually just increase some trauma that you're still reliving?
I think it increased some trauma. And I didn't know what would happen after the verdict, because ours was kind of like, we're done. And there's another trial. So knowing that this was her last trial, I don't know. I thought we were going to have sentencing today. I didn't know how it worked.
Yeah.
But now we're back in a month.
And you'll be here.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my closure. And I feel stupid for saying that because imagine what the family feels.
No,
I was just a juror. Like,
but it matters. It matters. I mean, that actually is a great example of how many lives this woman has affected. I'm a loving person. I hate, disappointing people. I'm like, you have disappointed everyone. You are a disappointment.
right.
Your existence is a disappointment. And so to hear that not only is the family affected, as you point out, just think of a juror, the jurors that have, and I noticed that the Brandon Boudreaux thanked the jurors for doing that and for processing that together. So thank you. Is there anything else you want to say before we end?
No, I appreciate you.
Absolutely. I appreciate you too.
And I'm your new #1 fan.
Oh, well, thank you, Victoria. We are so appreciative of you. Thank you.
I can only imagine what it's like to be away from your little one and your hubby. And
thank you. It's hard. I'm homesick. So, but I get to go home and greet them. And for that, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
So thank you.
All right.